Hello people, so very exciting but also potentially very controversial video today. I'm going to be ranking all of the Harry Potter books from my least favourite to my favourite. So yeah, I have an order of favouritism with the books. I have a least favourite, I have a favourite, but I still love all of the books. I still really enjoy reading them. But nevertheless, you have to have a favourite in everything, I guess. So yeah, that's the video for today. But before I get on with said video, if you're new to my channel and you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to join my little magical corner, and if you enjoyed this video then don't forget to leave a like. We're going to start with my least favourite book first. I still feel really bad to say that I have a least favourite Harry Potter book when all of them are significant to me and mean a lot to me in their own personal ways, but nevertheless I'm just going to get on with it. My least favourite Harry Potter book is Chamber of Secrets. Chamber of Secrets. Why is it my least favourite? I think the main reason is because I feel like it just gets too dark too soon. Harry's in his second year at Hogwarts and suddenly there's all of this petrifying going on. There's this talk about a Chamber of Secrets that has been opened and everyone instantly thinks that he's the one, he's the heir of Slytherin, just because he can speak Parseltongue. One thing I really enjoyed about reading this book for the first time was the mystery behind it. So like the reader knows that Harry isn't the one who opened the chamber, but not even we are sure because Harry himself isn't sure. And then we have a stupid Defence Against the Dark Arts teacher who all year round you're thinking, why the hell did Dumbledore employ Lockhart as the Defence Against the Dark Arts teacher when clearly he doesn't know anything and he's just a bit of a fraud. But yeah, I just find the whole Harry going into the Chamber of Secrets, 12 years old, only 2 years of magical knowledge, and he's able to defeat the basilisk when no one else was able to. And yeah, he had a lot of help from Hermione and Fawkes the Phoenix. As much as I really enjoy reading Chamber of Secrets, for me it's one of the most unbelievable for the fact that Harry's underexperienced, only 12 years old, and he defeats the basilisk. I don't know. And I don't like saying anything bad about the books. I can go all day about things I don't like about the films, but when it comes to the books, I'm just like, no, these are perfection. I don't want to say anything bad. But of course, even the books have flaws, and for me that's kind of one of them. I don't know, it's just the one I enjoy reading the least, and that's why it's number 7. So yeah, number 7, Chamber of Secrets. Number 6 is The Prisoner of Azkaban. Prisoner of Azkaban used to be one of my favourite books because it was the only one that had nothing to do with Voldemort, and it was like a nice refresher. Voldemort's not trying to kill Harry this year. Have a nice little break. Instead we're going to reveal a character who we all think is evil but actually isn't, and he escapes from Azkaban for good reasons and not bad reasons. And yes, it is a nice change to have a book that's nothing to do with Voldemort. It breaks up the monotony of Voldemort trying to come back to life, even though he succeeds it in a year's time. We meet some really awesome characters who in the future have such a massive impact in the storyline and Harry's life himself. Sirius Black and Remus Lupin. We learn some more about Harry's parents. Harry finds a father figure in Sirius himself. And yeah, it's just such a really nice, light, charming book. I guess the only reason it's so low down is because of time travel being a part of it. I mean, it works in the book. It makes sense. It makes it really exciting. It makes sense that time travel had to happen for the events themselves to happen the way they did. But it's the fact that Prisoner of Azkaban is the only time we have time travel, and it's just such a plot convenience. The year we need to go back in time to save a few people's lives is the year Hermione wants to do a few more subjects at school. You know, it just seems a bit like, yeah, that was meant to happen that way. But also allowing a third year student to use a time turner so that she can do more classes. A time turner. Like, these things are supposed to be really powerful, dangerous things, and they're trusting a 13-year-old with said item. You don't see time travel happen again in the rest of the series. Number 5 is book 5, Order of the Phoenix. Again, I love this book, I love reading it, but like what I said about the Chamber of Secrets, it's just really dark, but you know, in a different way. Order of the Phoenix is dark, yes, because Voldemort is back, and it looks like the start of a second Wizarding War, but it's also really dark because of stuff that happens in Harry's head. I don't really have a lot of joy reading Order of the Phoenix because it's not really a joyful book to read. You know, not only is Voldemort back and Harry's having all of these visions, but he still needs to do well in his OWLs. He's got Umbridge on his back. But yeah, it's just a very dark and depressing book. The only positive happy moments in Order of the Phoenix are when Harry's with Sirius and when Fred and George leave and everyone starts to rebel against Umbridge. And you're really thankful for these moments because otherwise the whole book would just be really dark and depressing. Number 4, The Goblet of Fire. Goblet of Fire is one of the most exciting books in the entire series. Right from the off, we have the final of the Quidditch World Cup. We have the arrival of the Death Eaters, which is a bit like mysterious and something to think about while you progress in the story. You go to Hogwarts and boom, there's the Triwizard Tournament, and that looks really awesome and exciting, and a nice little build up to the Goblet of Fire choosing the champions. Shock horror, not really, because this is a Harry Potter story. Harry gets chosen to compete in the Triwizard Tournament. But what's really good about how Harry manages to go through these tasks is the fact that it's not all just sheer dumb luck. He also gets a bit of help from Moody, Neville, Dobby. It's all believable. And then we get to the Yule Ball, and that's when you suddenly realise these are all teenagers. Hormones are everywhere, and you start to see that connection between Ron and Hermione. Will they, won't they? Do they like each other? Don't they like each other? There's just excitement after excitement. I feel like I'm buzzing, waiting for the next thing to happen. It's just such an excitement-filled book. I absolutely love The Goblet of Fire. Number 3, this is going to be controversial to some people because a lot of people, I feel, would put this higher. Number 3 for me is The Philosopher's Stone. For a long time, I would have told people that this was my favourite, only because it's the place where it all began. We discover this innocent, defenceless boy living with a family he doesn't belong in, who don't want him. His parents have died, we don't know why. He's living a really, really deprived and unhappy life, and then suddenly he gets a letter saying that he is going to Hogwarts, and his life has completely turned upside down because suddenly in this whole new world, everyone likes him, everyone knows who he is, and this is the complete opposite of how he was living at the Dursleys. And not only this, he gets to be a part of the magical world, and it's just something that all of us reading the series would want nothing more to be a part of. And yeah, for all of those reasons, The Philosopher's Stone is such a meaningful and sentimental book for me. It is the place where it all began. But it's number 3 because the events of the books I've ranked slightly higher are just more exciting for me. Now that I'm older and I look back at the events, especially the events that happened under the trapdoor, I'm a bit more like, is that really possible for 3 11-year-old kids to do? They're able to get past all of these defences which were only put in place to stop adult witches or wizards, and yet 3 11-year-olds can easily get past them. So yeah, that's a bit unbelievable, and that kind of brings it all down a little bit, but it happened and it's awesome and it's all really exciting. It is the best introduction into the magical world we could ever ask for. Number 2 is The HalfBlood Prince. I absolutely freaking love this book. You can tell what with it being number 2 on my list, and by the way, now you know what number 1 is. Again, it's another really, really exciting book. There is a lot of stuff going on, not quite as much as Goblet of Fire. It's kind of died down a little bit, which is really nice, and instead of like significant events happening, we learn a lot about specifically Voldemort's past. We get to learn a bit more about Voldemort. Finally find out about Horcruxes, which explains a lot of other stuff. There's other stuff going on, lighter stuff that are going on, like Harry becomes Quidditch captain. He develops feelings for Ginny, and then they start getting together, but before that there's the whole jealousy, what with her being with Dean Thomas. In a way, it feels much lighter than Order of the Phoenix, but also there's a lot of dark stuff in it as well. You know, and it's just that right mixture. And, you know, the cave scene is really, really exciting and such a page turner. And then we get to Hogwarts, and then there's the battle on the astronomy tower, and Dumbledore's killed. And at that point, reading it for the first time, you're thinking, holy crap, Snape, who everyone thought was actually on our side, isn't, it turns out, because he's just killed Dumbledore. There's a lot of mystery to it. It's significant because it's Harry's last school year at Hogwarts, and it kind of feels like the end of an era. It just made the anticipation for Deathly Hallows that much more greater because we just don't know what was going to happen. You know, it wasn't just another year at Hogwarts. So yeah, the build up to Deathly Hallows was done perfectly in HalfBlood Prince. Obviously, yeah, the mystery about the HalfBlood Prince's book. That was a nice little mystery going on throughout the series as well. And finally, we're on to number 1. My favourite Harry Potter book in the entire series is, of course, Deathly Hallows. How could it not be Deathly Hallows? I read this book within 48 hours. I probably could have done it in less time than that, but I was trying to make it last longer. But at the same time, I just really, really wanted to read it and to know what happens. It's so emotional, you know. I think I cried for some reason during every single chapter of the book. Something made me just bawl my eyes out, from Dudley telling Harry he's not a waste of space, to Ginny kissing Harry in her bedroom on his birthday, to Dobby coming back, Preacher being nice to them, and obviously the bad stuff, finding out about people dying. Everything that happens between Harry, Ron and Hermione, you know, Ron walking out is very emotional, and then he comes back, and there's just so many things going on in the Deathly Hallows that you have to read it a couple of times to actually grasp everything. So many things are revealed, so many questions are answered. It's not actually a happy ending. Voldemort is defeated and the Wizarding War is over and everyone can go on and live in peace, but everyone's still mourning because a lot of good characters died, and I absolutely love that about the Deathly Hallows. Although I hate the fact that a lot of lovable and good characters have died, I love the fact that she killed off good characters, because then it wasn't such a happy ending after all. I love the fact that we see the epilogue 19 years later. That's a nice little whoa. Ron and Hermione do get together, confirmation that Harry and Ginny get together and they have kids, and then we see Draco at the platform as well. Teddy's there as well. We get to see Teddy. We don't see him in the film, but we see him in the book. You know, they had to go through so much to get to that point, and they had to go through so much mourning and hard times after the events of the Battle of Hogwarts to get to that point. What else can I say? The Deathly Hallows is just ultimate perfection. I absolutely love it. And that's it. I have ranked the 7 Harry Potter books. I've placed them in my own order of preference. Like I said before, I still love every single book, from Chamber of Secrets to Deathly Hallows, or should I say from Philosopher's Stone to Deathly Hallows. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. Also, leave a comment down below how you would rank the Harry Potter books if you can. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe to join my little magical corner. I make videos every single week, so come subscribe to join the fun. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time.